Holtz-Eakin, talk about how Fannie and Freddie functioned before 2008, and from your vantage point, what you would expect their function to be once this process has been completed.
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were created for a good purpose. Fannie Mae was created for community banks, Freddie Mac for savings and loans, and the idea was to get away from the American experience where a little community bank in the middle of the farmlands held all the mortgages of everyone in that area. When the crop goes bad, everyone defaults at the same time, down goes the bank. Instead, in this system, Fannie Mae would buy up those mortgages, give cash back to the bank, and could make new loans and thus provide a greater ability to provide mortgages in the United States. And by buying up those mortgages, Fannie Mae could sell off packages of them, some pieces from Iowa, some pieces from Nebraska, some pieces from Pennsylvania, to investors, and thereby spread the risk of a housing default across the nation and get away from this compartmentalized system.
Sounds like a good plan, but what went wrong?
What went wrong was they took that business, which was securitization, a good idea, and a government guarantee of those securities to make sure investors would be interested in it, and they went into a second line of business, which is a hedge fund, which borrowed with the implicit backing of the U.S. taxpayer, so it got to borrow cheaply, and it invested in risky stuff. In fact, the risky stuff it invested in was largely its own. It was all housing related. And there's no more risky thing to do than to take a very highly leveraged bet on a single asset. And they did it in spades, and we're paying for it.
Douglas Holtz-Eakin, he's an economist, former director of the Congressional Budget Office.